You know, what is the first thing that people do when they look at a woman?
The world will tell you you are not enough.
There were no hopes, no desires, no future.
But there was a hushed chatter in the room.
A life spent desperately trying to satisfy people.
Science? Really? I don't think that's your cup of tea.
I felt guilty for having feelings.
Are they going to celebrate my triumphs ever?
It amazes me that in this day and age, this is still a relevant issue.
छोटी सी है, ये क्या कर लेगी? ऐसी बातें नेबरहुड में सुनने को मिलती थी. But at my home, it was a different environment. I grew up with the affirmations, you can be anything what you want to be. In the mid-80s, at the age of 18, with my parents on board, I joined the Indian Army and I earned the rank of lieutenant at the age of 21. Yay! Indeed, my journey to become a commissioned officer in the Army was all full of struggles, but I was pretty much sure that I'm not going to give up on my dream. Through my determination, I overcame numerous challenges. So shout out to all the girls and the women out there who dare to dream.
Born was a little girl to a very loving family. But there was a hushed chatter in the room. She's dark. Bright this girl was, intelligent and a go-getter. She excelled in academics, sports, and performing arts. She wanted to play out in the sun with the boys. But she's dark, she heard. If she plays out in the sun, she'll be darker. Then she will need to bleach her skin. She loved to dance, but she held back because only fair, pretty girls got to dance. Why do I need to change the color of my skin? Why can't I play out in the sun and have fun? She had to push herself. She strove to achieve. She pushed herself harder each time. But she is dark, is all she still heard. Will people ever look at me beyond that? Why does it matter, the dark I hear? Why do I still hear this chatter? I want to shine, but I'm dark. Friends, she had a lot. Family was by her side. She was kind and she cared. But I am dark is all she still heard. Her mind was scarred. She went places, she achieved, and she spoke up. But the veil of I am dark still remained. Dark, dark, dark is all she heard. It reverberated in her mind. Accolades came her way. A husband, a loving son. So many years later, and she still could not stop hearing the chatter. She wants to reach out to you little girls out there. Tune out the you are dark as a negative word. Dark is beautiful. Dark is the color of Lord Krishna. Embrace it. Your inner beauty, your mind is what you should focus on. Play, dance, do whatever your heart desires. Be yourself. You are beautiful. Dark is beautiful.
It's Mother's Day, and I was at a grocery store in the soap aisle. And guess what was the only thing that was on sale? The dish soap. And it occurred to me in that moment that women are and were associated with washing the dishes. When it was time to move the chairs at school, teachers always asked for strong boys to help move them. And I'm sure you've heard of derogatory stereotypes associated with women. Women can't drive. Women are too emotional to think logically. and women are weak and delicate. And these stereotypes and preconceptions turn into an internal bias in our heads. It amazes me that in this day and age, this is still a relevant issue.
You have only 2 girls? Are you not going to have more children? This was a common question my mom was asked a lot when we were growing up. And she would smile and proudly say, "My family is complete." She grew up in a small village and adapted really well to our new city life in Delhi. Not being a barrier, but walking the new path with us. Our parents exposed us to the highest and best, well-rounded education, and there was nothing we could not achieve with mom by our side. Whether it was waiting long hours at school or taking long bus rides to pick us up, she was there at every step. Even today, in my weakest moments, she trusts me, so I can trust myself. I am strong because a strong woman raised me.
Poonam, it is time for you to get married. Why do you want to study further? A father says to his daughter. I met Poonam, the youngest of 3 siblings in Mumbai recently. Her mother is a part-time domestic help at my sister's house. Poonam completed her secondary education and wishes to do a computer diploma course. She thinks doing that will ensure her a better paying job. But her father would rather spend that money on the higher education of her brothers. After all, Beti is Paraya Dhan, and her earnings will go to her husband and his family. But their sons will stay with them and look after them. Poonam's mother doesn't agree to this. She wants her daughter to be educated and have a better life than herself. She believes Poonam is smarter than her sons, sincere and more capable. But her husband wouldn't listen to her, and he makes all the decisions in the family. This is a common story in many households. Parents think sons add to the family wealth and daughters are a burden. We can change this Soch. I was able to help Poonam enroll in the computer course. Let us empower our girls in the community through education and help them pursue their goals.
सोच हूँ मैं, एक आवाज़ हूँ मैं, बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं, वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं, वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं.
Science? Really? I don't think that's your cup of tea. I think you should go for arts. You will be better. I agreed. Then, when I was in undergrad program, and after finishing political science, I wanted to pursue master's degree. Again, my brother thought, what's the use? Why you want to do master's? Because there's no use of that. And his whole idea was to get me married. I was only 19 years old at that time. Then after a few years, I wanted to pursue a career in the travel industry as an air hostess. Well, guess what? Again, he thought it's not necessary because it requires travel. So after hearing all those negative things and voices in my life, I continued to work in the corporate world for 20 years. So after retiring from the corporate world, I didn't want to just sit idle. I wanted to do something different. And that's how I started my TV show. And that gave me full satisfaction. The world will stop you or discourage you from pursuing your dreams. But none of that should stop you. Keep pursuing your dreams.
You are committing corporate suicide. You will never find a job in the technology industry. Don't do it. Don't do it. My friends and coworkers used to say this to me to discourage me for chasing after my dreams. After spending several years working as a consultant in Silicon Valley, I decided to try something new. I ventured away from the technology industry and found myself in the yoga industry. I trained to be a yoga teacher and earned my Yoga Fit certification. I was teaching yoga successfully to students in the Bay Area, but it wasn't something people were happy to hear. In fact, women are often discouraged from being entrepreneurs or business owners as it comes with a really, really high risk. Having a full-time job makes us feel safe and very low risk. But we are filled with dreams, talents, and ideas that are endless. We have so much potential that no one could ever imagine. We can't allow others to tell us how much we should or should not achieve in this lifetime. I would like to strongly encourage all those women out there who have been dreaming about becoming an entrepreneur or business owner. Take the plunge, follow your path, trust in yourself, and shut down the noises and opinions of this world.
Over quarantine, since we couldn't talk to people, we all binged a ton of shows and movies, right? I know that I did, and I know a lot of my friends and I read a bunch of new books as well. So coming back to school, I was really excited to talk to new people about these books and shows, but the reaction I got was odd. I would talk to the girls in my class and they would be enthusiastic and interested about the things that I watched and read, but the guys in my class would laugh and make comments that sounded as if they were ridiculing me for being interested in these things. And it makes us feel as if we shouldn't express our feelings and excitement to people around us. Even on the internet, you can see a lot of things that teenage girls are interested in being made fun of and called embarrassing. That doesn't make sense. Everyone has interests and should be able to show that. It doesn't matter if you enjoy things that are stereotypical to girls or boys. Your interests are what you like and you should be able to enjoy them.
A woman is an energy you cannot do without. Don't shut her in a box or keep her under locks. Her hopes and dreams can never be caged. Her aspirations and will can never be stilled. Let her flow like a river in a rugged mountain terrain. She will make her way through, so let her pursue. Well, it was a privilege for me to grow up as a young girl in a quieter Shimla, a very small town in India. And I have to say, I was very free-spirited and did everything that I wanted to do. My mom would want me to go inside and act more ladylike and learn what girls did. But I loved to play cricket with the boys. Both my mom and my sister were traditionally more feminine and more beautiful, and they did what the society told them to do. I remember my sister taking care of the chores in the house while I was playing cricket, and I have to thank her for that. I was a strong-willed girl, and I have to say, I did not escape the dogmas of society. Many a times I was told I was plain, ordinary, or tomboy. And I think it did affect me while I was growing. But it was also that my mom and my sister, however beautiful they looked, they were also put in a box by the society. They were told to act a certain way, think a certain way, sit a certain way. I think as women, we are always judged by the way we look, by the way we act. I remember using a lot of Fair and Lovely creams and bleach creams. And even now when I go to India, I just cringe when I see the ads on television every second. Hey, that fair is beautiful. But now I'm very proud of who I am as a mother, as a poet, as a radio host, and as a social entrepreneur. Stand tall and be proud of who you are. You are enough always. The world will tell you, you are not enough. You are not beautiful. You're not good enough. To all the young girls out there, stand strong and be proud of yourself.
Time of death 1 a.m. The doctors noted in their record. No parent deserves to lose their child. It is against the law of nature for a child to pass away before their parent. When I lost my daughter, Saloni, she was just 13. There is no loss on earth greater than the loss of your child. Literally, our world ended. We were traumatized. There was a vacuum in our life. There were no hopes, no desires, no future. I need a break. And then I came across many moms, many parents just like me, and I realized I'm not the only one. It is then that I decided to collect myself and create a change, help moms like me who are lost and who need some guidance. That is when I created a non-profit with the help of top pediatric cardiothoracic surgeons and pediatric cardiologists. We provide free and unbiased second opinion because every child deserves to live.
Not flesh of your flesh, nor bone of your bone, yet still somehow I felt like your own. I can never forget, no, not for a minute. I grew not under your heart, but in it. These words are not mine, but they portray my true feelings for my mother-in-law, who's my best friend since I got married. I read somewhere that 95% of the marriages go sour because of the mother-in-law. But I fall in those 5% because my relation with my mother-in-law is just amazing, awesome, and phenomenal. She taught me everything. She did not force me to do things. She never judges me, and that's a big thing which I can feel. My husband's relation with me has also improved. Why? Because he sees that I give so much respect to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law always taught me new things. When I came to this country, I was totally new to the environment, but she had so much patience. She taught me how to drive. She taught me how to garden, and that's been a passion for me till today. When I had my first child and I was resting for 13 days like we women do usually, she used to bring hot food and she used to bring hot chapati in her hand and used to tell me, just eat now so that it doesn't get cold. That is something, when I remember today, I still have tears in my eyes. I will say that I have found a mother and a friend in her.
सोच हूँ मैं, एक आवाज़ हूँ मैं, बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं, वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं, वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं।
Jayashri, you're going to fail because you got married too early. Jayashri, you have 2 kids and I don't think you're spending enough time with them because you have a full-time job and you go for dancing, you go for radio shows. So I think you should spend a lot more time with them. You know what is the first thing that people do when they look at a woman? Judge. And I was judged. I was judged when I got married at 22. I was judged when I chose to do masters and not have a baby for a few years. I was judged when I went back to work when my baby was 10 weeks old. I was judged when I gave dance performances leaving aside my 3-year-old. I was judged when I left my home at 5 a.m. to record for my radio shows. And it did not stop there. I was judged when I left everything and spent time with my family and I took a nice small break. You know what? You're going to be constantly judged. But don't let that stop you. Rise up, head high, and march towards a better tomorrow. Let's uplift other women. hold hands, and progress towards our goal and progress towards a better tomorrow.
I had I'm not enough syndrome for a very long time until I met a wonderful coach and a mentor who told me that if you walk around with this belief that I'm not good enough, people are going to reflect the same energy back to you. And this was a profound, life-changing moment for me. I began questioning my beliefs, and I came up with this long list of I'm not good enough beliefs. Like I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not confident enough, and I'm not kind enough, and on and on and on. I realized that these beliefs are tied with many stories, events, memories, and experiences from my past. As I began acknowledging these stories and these beliefs, I was able to unhook from these patterns and break free from these beliefs that kept me stuck. I was able to move to a place where I felt I am enough and I don't have to be anyone or anything in order to be enough. And from that place, I was able to love and accept myself for who I am.
Do you ever feel as if there is no purpose in your life? As if deep inside something's missing? A life spent desperately trying to satisfy people who may or may not ever be capable of being pleased. Or working really hard to constantly be perceived as doing what's expected of you won't bring you anywhere and definitely won't get you any happiness. I understand how difficult it is to stay motivated when you're constantly under pressure. And believe me, I have been discouraged and lost motivation several times. I have encountered many people who I truly believed were my friends, but ended up taking advantage of me, since I would always do things that I felt would benefit those around me, without considering what I truly needed. I find myself constantly comparing who I am to other people, and feeling like I need to accomplish more to live up to the standards society has set for me. However, we need to persevere and pursue something that we genuinely love, something that we are truly passionate about. We have to realize that we are giving it everything we've got, that not everything will work out the way we want it to all the time, but that should never cause us to be disheartened or give up. We need to realize that we are incredible, that we are important, and we need to strive to be true to who we are, not who we think others want us to be. When life is under no obligation to give us what we expect, why do we feel obligated to give others what they expect?
एक सोच हूँ मैं, एक आवाज़ हूँ मैं, बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं। एक सोच हूँ मैं, एक आवाज़ हूँ मैं, बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं। बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं। बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं।
I felt guilty for having feelings. I felt lonely and I was suffocating under pressure. The burden was too much to bear. Everyone in the town knew our family, especially me, the firstborn. I was expected to do everything according to the norms that my elders had laid out, starting from what I should wear, where I should go, what I should do, who can be my friends. Everything was decided. I was not allowed to pursue my passion for dance, as it was not for a girl from my family. I was engaged when I was very young, and I was expected to carry out the duties of a daughter-in-law even before I was married. I wanted to be an astronaut, but of course, That was too much to ask. I was only allowed to do a 3-year degree so that I would be at the right age to get married. I eventually defied and learned dance, went to dance classes without the knowledge of my family. After a while, however, my parents came to know and they were very supportive of it. But the others in my family were not. Dance and faith helped me get through very hard times in my childhood. I was successful in pursuing my passion and I finally got a taste of freedom. Life is about freedom of choice, and that is what you need to lead a meaningful life.
Let her break the barriers. Why can't she be the first one in the family to dance? This world didn't let me follow my dreams. I can't let this happen to my daughter. We can't let the society continue to make decisions for our daughters. It is time we empower them to make their own decisions. These are my mother's words. Amma, you taught us how to be courageous. We will carry forward this legacy and break all barriers that come our way. Thank you, Amma.
Vidisha, you should not be dancing. Girls are not supposed to dance. This is what I heard while I was growing up. With the interest in academics and a soft corner for dance, I always wanted to pursue dancing with my studies. The open-air theatres, the dance shows at my grandparents' place really sparked an interest in me in performing arts. My parents would encourage me to go and perform a dance piece at the dance shows. But there are relatives who would really discourage them for doing this. They would say, why do you allow Vidisha to go and dance? It's not acceptable by the society. Girls should not be dancing. But with the encouragement and support from my parents, I got the much needed confidence to pursue my passion. I learned the importance of empowering girls to make a choice for themselves. I am fortunate to pass on this legacy to young girls in our community, including my 2 daughters. So, you can break the stereotypes and follow your heart.
Pavitra, why have you never had boyfriends? Are you thinking about marriage? What about kids? These are all the questions I hear from all members in my community, and at first I thought that they were caring about me and my future, but then I realized I was kind of sad hearing those questions. I'm currently almost done with my medical school education, and I thought that I accomplished a lot. I took the SATs to get into a good college, I took the MCAT to get into a good medical school, and I was feeling proud. And I thought that, the members in my community, my family, my friends would also be proud of me. But instead I got these questions referring to a possible future husband or a marriage. And although I did feel sad, I knew that I had to put my career first, or I knew that I had to make myself important. So in Michigan, I decided to go to a new apartment, live by myself, live independently, and learn how to not depend on either my dad or a future husband or anyone else. And I took it a step further and I decided to adopt a little puppy in the middle of medical school, which I do not recommend, but that puppy did bring me joy, and it did teach me how to be responsible and how to take care of not only me, but another living thing. And so I'm glad that after all the expectations that were thrown at me, I had the courage to be independent and also to take steps to make my life happy for me. So I believe that all women have that courage to do that. With all the things going around in society, I believe that all women are strong.
బంగారు పాపాయి బహుమతులు పొందాలి పాపాయి చదవాలి మా మంచి చదువు ఏ దేశమే జాతి ఎవరింటిది పాప అని ఎల్లరడగాలి
This song was something very special to me and was sung to me by my mom when I was little, and holds a very special place in my heart. When I came to the US many years ago, but 30 years ago, this song would resonate with me. It basically says, Golden child will earn awards and will study well, and when she goes to different places, people will ask, where does she come from and who does she represent? And that's what stayed with me, and I'm really grateful for my parents for sending me abroad many years ago to pursue my education single, not hitched with a guy, even though everybody thought that they should. They trusted in me, and they let me go by myself. And here I am today, so happy to have that opportunity to live my life. I would encourage all of you to do the same. Do not be an hindrance. Trust the woman in your life. Let them be free. Empower them.
Yamuna, how can you manage your newborn along with your work? Are you not compromising one or the other? Yes, I had a new addition to my family. My mind and body were adjusting. It was a delicate time to navigate through my mood swings and emotions running up and down. I discontinued my passion for dance to keep up the work. My ability is doubted in what I do the best. The stress weakened my immune system and caused anxiety. Why? I am being judged. Are they going to celebrate my triumphs ever? I looked for a support system to overcome these barriers. There is no sense of belonging. I became breathless. The only place I used to get comfort is my little one's smile. We all need an outlet to deal with our stress and anxiety. For me, it's dance. Dance is a therapy. Dance is my drug of choice.
For a lot of young girls, including me, sports has been a common stereotype for us in our daily lives. I still remember this one day at PE where it was basketball day and all the boys were crowded around the hoops. Now, me and my friends wanted to play basketball too, so we finally built up the courage to go over there, only to hear the fact that we can't play basketball or we're not good enough for them. When it was finally our turn, the boys went easy on us and allowed us to score, resulting in shouts of, "You got beaten by a girl," from the sidelines. But the interesting part was, when they started playing hard and we were losing, the boys were again mocking our opponents by saying that, "Why are you going so hard against them?" As I noticed this unfold, I saw that while the boys weren't teasing us directly, this made me feel that as a girl, I couldn't be equal. But I didn't let that deter me or my friends. We ignored what others thought, pushed on, and actually ended up winning that game, leaving those boys' faces in shock. Every woman, no matter how small or big the issue they are facing, needs to acknowledge that there are injustices happening against them, and needs to arise above them by not thinking what others would think about them. And by doing this, we can all form a community of strong women that uplift each other to rise above our problems and break that glass ceiling.
Hey, look, I got a really good raise this year. But not a promotion, right? Your English is pretty good for someone who is from India. I used to get so bothered by such comments. I thought these were negative and hurtful comments. It used to impact my self-confidence and my self-worth. I would go into a negative loop. Lately, I've been thinking, when people say such things, it's a reflection of who they are. It is their thought process. It is their value system. It should not bother me. It is not about me. It is about them. Once I realized that, I think it has really helped me to get over such comments, move on, and just focus on positive things in life.
एक सोच हूँ मैं, एक आवाज़ हूँ मैं, बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं, वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं, वो परवाज़ हूँ मैं।
Raised in a joint family system with many other boys and girls, I was never feel discriminated. Most influential and inspiring person in my life is my grandmother, who had 8 girl siblings. All of them were the most powerful women in our society. That lady also taught me that women is the warmth and wisdom and the power of a household. She taught me how to refill my cup before it completely empty. Be bold, be brave, and be proud as a woman.
My husband's first generation Indian American. So when we were married, we had decided that when we raised our kids, we would give them both American as well as Indian cultural values. When we moved to Morgan Hill 26 years ago, I was a part of a newly founded nonprofit at that time called the Indian Association of South Santa Clara County, also called IASC. I knew that something was still missing. There was still a void in my life. The community service part of it was still not accomplished. The pandemic also happened at the same time 2 years ago. My late father-in-law, Yashpal Chabra, had also built several orphanages back in India for the underserved students. And I knew that I wanted to continue his legacy of also wanting to give back. There was also a huge South Indian community which had done fairly well for themselves in the form of their career and education. So I then reached out to them asking if they were interested in starting a new humanitarian arm of IASC, which would totally be directed towards taking care of the vulnerable in our community. We started Circle of Giving. Taking care of the less fortunate in the community has really been very, very satisfying, not just for me, but for our community also. It's made a huge difference in the lives of hundreds of people. And at the end of the day, I can truly say that it is extremely gratifying.
What else could be more important than your own life? Who will take care of your kids if you are not there? I don't think you understand what I'm saying. This surgery must be performed right away. This is what I was told by a doctor in the hospital when I was taken for an emergency surgery. And I told the doctor to postpone or schedule the surgery later on so I can take care of my kids. It is not uncommon for us to put everyone else above us. And that was an awakening moment for me. I realized that if I am not healthy, both mentally and physically, I cannot take care of anyone. Since then, I started prioritizing my time. I take time for activities I love, like yoga and dancing. The world needs us, and we need to take care of people around us, but not at the cost of losing our own identity.
As a woman, we play multiple roles. A mom to your kids, daughter to your parents, a working professional, and a partner to your spouse. All of these roles are so fulfilling in itself, and at times we forget to do little things that brings happiness to us. I became a classic case where I started over-rotating on the happiness of my partner and then started to forget the little things that I need to do for myself. Be it a work effort or a business travel, everything started getting prioritized based on his needs. Day passed by and little by little I started to feel that I'm losing my own identity. And I felt it was too late for me to make a change. However, 22 years down the road, I finally decided to make a change, prioritize my overall happiness and mental well-being.
I was in high school when I lost a significant amount in the stock market. My dad would let me invest and encourage me. I didn't know how to face him. He had empowered me to take decisions, when to invest, where to invest. But this was my first big loss. I was trying to figure out how to tell him, but then I did. And he just said one line: you make mistakes, you can do better next time. This experience has shaped me who I am today. I was brought up in a household of 3 girls, and my parents never raised us with that thought that you couldn't do something because you were a girl. I have 2 daughters, and I'm passing the same legacy to them, that they should not limit themselves. They should feel empowered. It should be okay to do mistakes. Be who you are, be independent.
She was not allowed to make any big decisions or even financial decision at home because she is a woman. She always works in the kitchen, that too she has to cook the food that was ordered by the men in the house. She was not allowed to go anywhere outdoors for any recreational purpose. And she doesn't raise her voice in front of men. Many families in India are facing these kind of problems where male domination is high. Women deserve self-respect and freedom everywhere in this world. Remember to hold your head up and shine like a star, because that's the way you are.
Oftentimes, we have seen one woman judging another woman based on her appearance, clothing, or language. For example, some women choose to wear makeup and some do not. So, also with grooming, wearing fancy clothes, these aspects should not become a reason for us to form a particular opinion about the other person. We should not judge a woman based on her physical appearance, clothing, skin color, language, etc. Let us pledge to accept all women however they are.
थोड़ी सी रूहानी, थोड़ी सी जिस्मानी, थोड़ी सी संग दिल, थोड़ी सी दिलवाली, एक सोच हूँ मैं।
हेलो माँ, मैं बोल रही हूँ। मैं आशा। बहुत दिन हो गई, तुम आई नहीं मिलने मुझे। शादी हो गई तो भूल गई क्या? नहीं, ऐसे ही कॉल किया मैंने। हाँ, मैं ठीक हूँ, मैं बहुत ठीक हूँ। आप कैसे हो माँ? नहीं, ऐसे ही कॉल किया मैंने। बहुत दिन हो गए थे ना। हाँ, कुछ नहीं, ऐसे ही। ठीक है, रखती हूँ। मैं किसी और दिन ऐसे ही कॉल करूँगी। ठीक है माँ, आप अपना ख्याल रखना। ठीक है।
एक आवाज हूँ मैं, बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज हूँ मैं। एक सोच हूँ मैं, एक आवाज हूँ मैं, बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज हूँ मैं। बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज हूँ मैं, बुलंदियों को छूती वो परवाज हूँ मैं।
लोग कहते हैं मैं इतनी सहमी सी क्यों हूँ। लोग कहते हैं मैं इतनी गुमसुम सी क्यों हूँ। लोग कहते हैं मैं इतनी मुरझाई सी क्यों हूँ। लेकिन जब मैं छोटी सी बच्ची थी तब बिल्कुल ऐसी नहीं थी। बड़ी खुश मिजाज, जिंदगी से बेइंतहा प्यार, गली गली सहेलियों के साथ डोलती थी। तब लोग क्यों कहते थे कि मैं इतनी सुंदर क्यों नहीं, मैं इतनी समझदार क्यों नहीं, मैं इतनी सहनशील क्यों नहीं। मैं जितनी थी उतनी काफ़ी नहीं थी, मैं जितनी थी उतनी काफ़ी नहीं थी। शायद इसीलिए मैं अपनी यादों से हारी हूँ, थोड़ी सहमी, थोड़ी इंसानों से घबराई हूँ। तो आप जब भी बात करें, किसी से भी बात करें, सोच समझ के बात करें, क्योंकि छोटी सी बात किसी की ज़िंदगी बदल सकती है।